David had finally been established as the second king of Israel. He had made Jerusalem the center of his kingdom. He had brought the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem, and he had set up the tabernacle there. And God had given him rest from the threat of Israel's enemies. As he sat in his house, looking around, enjoying the beauty and the peace, taking in all of God's goodness and blessings, a thought occurred to him. Here I am, secure and comfortable in this beautiful place, while the ark of God sits in a tent. David called for his beloved friend, the prophet Nathan, and he shared his thoughts with him. The more David spoke, the more Nathan smiled. Nathan knew that everything David did, he did with his whole heart. And no doubt, as he heard David express his desire to build a house for the Lord, visions of a glorious temple began to emerge in Nathan's mind. So Nathan confirmed, "Go and do what's in your heart, David. God is in this." But that night, the word of the Lord came to Nathan, informing him that he did not want David to build him a house. Instead, God made some incredible promises to David. "When thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. And thine house and thy kingdom shall be established forever before thee. Thy throne shall be established forever." When Nathan brought the news to David that God had promised that his son would build the temple, and that David's throne would be established forever, David went alone with God and humbly praised him. "Who am I, O Lord God? And what is my house that thou hast brought me hitherto? Thou art great, O Lord God, for there is none like thee, neither is there any God beside thee, according to all that we have heard with our ears." Knowing that he himself could not build the temple, but that his son would, David did everything he could to put his son in the best position to succeed. 1 Chronicles gives us the details of David's preparation, and it summarizes his efforts with this statement. "And David said, Solomon my son is young and tender, and the house that is to be builded for the Lord must be exceeding magnifical, of fame and of glory throughout all countries. I will therefore now make preparation for it." So David prepared abundantly before his death. 1 Chronicles 22:5. At the end of his life, as David was passing the scepter to Solomon, he gave this charge. "And thou, Solomon my son, know thou the God of thy father, and serve him with a perfect heart and with a willing mind. For the Lord searcheth all hearts, and understandeth all the imaginations of the thoughts. If thou seek him, he will be found of thee. But if thou forsake him, he will cast thee off forever. Take heed now, for the Lord hath chosen thee to build an house for the sanctuary. Be strong, and do it." 1 Chronicles 28:9 and 10. After David's death, Solomon took the throne in Jerusalem, and he went right to work organizing the building of the temple of the Lord. Then, in the 4th year of Solomon's reign, 480 years after the Israelites had come out of Egypt, the construction began. It took 7 years to finish building the temple in Jerusalem. In a great ceremony, the priests and the Levites brought the ark into the temple with music, singing, and praise. Then the priests and the Levites had to leave because the glory of the Lord filled the temple so powerfully that they couldn't stay. A great assembly of Israelites were gathered outside, and King Solomon stood and addressed them. "It was in the heart of David my father to build an house for the name of the Lord God of Israel. But the Lord said to David my father, Forasmuch as it was in thine heart to build an house for my name, thou didst well that it was in thine heart. Notwithstanding, thou shalt not build the house. But thy son which shall come forth out of thy loins, he shall build the house for my name. The Lord therefore hath performed his word that he hath spoken. For I am risen up in the room of David my father, and am set on the throne of Israel, as the Lord promised, and have built the house for the name of the Lord God of Israel. And in it have I put the ark, wherein is the covenant of the Lord that he made with the children of Israel." Solomon then prayed a prayer of dedication, and he offered a sacrifice of 22,000 oxen and 120,000 sheep. The people celebrated with a great feast. And the Bible makes this summary statement. Thus Solomon finished the house of the Lord and the king's house, and all that came into Solomon's heart to make in the house of the Lord and in his own house, he prosperously effected. After everything was completed, the Lord appeared to Solomon one night, and he confirmed that he had heard Solomon's detailed prayer of dedication. He promised that his blessing and presence would always be upon the temple in Jerusalem. Now have I chosen and sanctified this house, that my name may be there forever, and mine eyes and mine heart shall be there perpetually. Christian, seek God's purpose for you, and let him carry it out through you. Stay the course.